Okay guys, I just watched the Iyanla Fix My Life with Luenell on it, and it was very, very sobering. I really think that a lot of females, especially black females, need to watch this and take a lot of notes, because therapy is definitely needed for our strong black women. All right, you guys, let's go ahead and watch. Hi, my name is Kourtney and welcome to our channel. My husband Eddie, which normally sits on my right, is not here because I'm doing this review by myself. For those that are new to this channel, let me tell you what we're all about. We're about Kourtney and Eddie. We do relationship topics, reviews, and right now I'm doing a review on with Luenell on Iyanla Fix My Life. So let's go ahead and get into it. But before we do that, make sure that you subscribe to this channel. And if you're watching us via Facebook, make sure that you like as well as follow. And on all social media sites, comment down below. You guys, I thought this was very, very good. It was therapy to me at its core. It wasn't a lot of harshness and stuff that we've seen in the past or whatever. But I think that Luenell was very receptive to the counsel, and I really, really enjoyed it thoroughly. Okay, so let's go ahead and start in the beginning. The name of it is The Mask We Wear. And we as women wear so many masks, especially if you dealt with things in your childhood and you just got to move to the next, move to the next, move to the next, move to the next. You know, suck it up, move to the next. When you're an adult, suck it up, move to the next, move to the next. So I can totally relate to this. And if you are female and you watch this, I'm quite sure you can relate to this and probably even found some things that was therapeutic for you, because I would say that women as a whole, and I would say this because I'm black, especially black women, we need this kind of therapy. Things that have been passed down from generation to generation, we need this kind of therapy. Things that we have dealt with in our childhood, we need this kind of therapy. And I think the reason that we have a lot of different, I would say, bad relationship, broken home, broken marriages. Yes, men do their part, but I think some of it is women. Some of it is women. I'm a woman. I'm speaking for me. This is my opinion. I know y'all may come on the comments and disagree with me, and you have every right to, but I'm talking about me. Okay, so let's get into it. It starts off with Iyanla coming in, and she wants to meet Luenell at her place of work, which is the comedy club. That's what she do. She's been a comedian for 30 years. She said that she is the best comedian in the industry, and I don't blame her for saying that about herself. I think she's funny, but I guess it depends on what set you're looking at her, you know, because she does use a lot of profane words, or a lot of profanity. So, you know, I have seen her probably on, I guess you would say, PG settings. Never seen her live anywhere. And she basically is talking about, you know, her as a person. She said, you know, she is a nightmare if you cross her. But she wants to get rid of that angry black woman stigma that she carries. She carries it. She said she do. She owned it. The angry black woman. And we know, women, that a lot of women can carry that stigma, angry black woman. And let me say this. I said this about me. I never wanted to be labeled as the angry black woman. And sometimes people can label you that, and that's not you. But I never wanted that to be my vice. I never wanted that to be a part of my makeup, the angry black woman. So when I got a divorce, I wanted to get rid of all of that, because there's nothing that I couldn't go forward if I hadn't dealt with the past. So I like I said before in many of these Iyanla videos, I've done a lot of work on me. I did a lot of self-healing. I read books. I did all of that because I did not want to have that label. And granted, sometimes it's given and it's not even warranted. You know, you can just have an attitude or roll your neck and then they say, I get that. But I'm talking about deep within, because some women are mean, some women are angry. And it has everything to do with their past and how they were brought up and what happened to them when they were a child. So one thing that Luenell did say is that unfortunately, she has because she's a comedian, she has a control side, and that's one of her weak points. So Iyanla talks to her daughter, Luenell and Danielle. Make sure I say it right. Danielle, which is 24 years old. Beautiful girl. So she begins to ask her, what is it about? Tell me more about your mom. She said it's a good and it's a bad side. So, they have, when things are good, it's really good. But when they get bad, they get bad. So she started to cry. What I noticed, she started to cry very early. And what we saw was the filming. So it's like immediately, it didn't take long when she started talking about her mom, is that she just began to break down. She said that she helps her mom pack, but she really hates to see her go. And so many times it hurts her heart, because that's basically what she's been doing over her time with her mom. Her mom would come in town and then she would help her pack. She would come in town, she would help her pack. She said she avoids having the conversation with her mom about how much she hates to see her leave. She doesn't know who her mom is, and even without being a celebrity, she don't really know that non-celebrity side of her. And that's sad, because I guess maybe just really due to the lack of her mom not being around, and when they would have conversation, it would just kind of get, intense. She said she lost her mom, I think it was at the age of 14. I think it was, no, at the age of, I wrote it down, I hadn't got that far yet. But when she's, when she was 6 years old, I'm sorry, y'all. She said that it's really hard to talk to her mom because she takes it personal. So, and some women are like that. I know some women like that you cannot talk to them or tell them the truth because they take everything personal. But if this is my experience and what I'm experiencing from you, then this is my experience. Don't deflect it or make it seem like it's not my personal experience on how you make me feel. I wanted to make sure that Nicholas is not rubbing up against the mic. So Iyanla wants her to tell the truth about her feelings. She wants to tell it to her mom. She said that y'all playing roles and y'all don't even have a relationship. You have a mother and daughter role. Y'all get that. That's what y'all supposed to do. You come in town and help you pack. It looks happy, but actually y'all are broken people just playing the roles. Y'all don't even have a relationship. And how many people are like that today? Not just mother and daughters. You got husband and wives. You got, people that are in corporate America. Everybody is just playing a role and you don't have a relationship. You playing it up for the gram. You playing it up for Facebook. You playing it up for TV and media, but y'all don't even have a relationship. And you know what? I don't want that ever to be me and my sons, and I don't want that to be me and my daughter. I don't want that. I want to always have a relationship that they can come and talk to me about anything. I think I've tried to make it to where me and my children can sit down and discuss anything. I don't be harsh on them. I hope not, if they watching this. I don't want to come off as hard or harsh or abrasive. I just want them to be able to talk to me. And I may do the fussing afterwards. I may do no fussing at all. But I want to always be open to have conversations. And I think that's where they fall in at. Because Luenell never made the safe place for her child to come and talk to her. You have to create a safe place, because your child could be telling you something that they know is not going to sit right with you. You're going to fudge, you're going to go through, but you got to create a safe place. So that means that you can't always be fussing. You can't always be dismissive. You can't always be like you're angry. You got to create a safe place for your children to come to you and talk to you. So Luenell gets impatient. And so she said that she ready to leave because she felt like, y'all done left me up here and I've been abducted. And she started making threats that she finna leave because she said she felt like jumping out the window, throwing the cushion on the mind of a comedian, throwing the cushion on the ground and getting up out of here. So she was acting very entitled. But it comes down to some issues that she has. So they sent the coach in, and coach was talking to her. And she said that this is a part of the process. The process is to put you in isolation or to sit you by yourself so you can think. And let me say this, for those that don't know, You have to watch Firestarter to find out a little bit more about this, which is our other YouTube channel. Is that I've done jail ministry for like 12 years. And in that, I've seen people come in and I've seen people come out. But let me tell you something. It really, for some, not all, but when you get to a place when you're quiet and you're by yourself, even though they were in a cell, but still they were by themselves, meaning they don't have access to people that know them. They don't have access to the TV. They don't have access to a phone. They don't have access to stuff, because what we do is we distract ourselves from the times that we get quiet. We distract ourselves. It's easily to get distracted and not listen to your own thoughts, not listen to your own issues, not listen to your own heart. And so when she was doing that, it probably was some voices. She started probably listening to her inner self. And her inner self, she didn't want to hear what her inner self had to say. So she started getting irritated and aggravated. Because it's so easy when you're by yourself. It's so easy to distract ourselves with the phone, the TV, so many things, the computer. So the coach was just basically telling her this is a part of the process. So they ended up getting her and bringing her down. But she did say that she felt like she was in jail, in a holding cell. And the coach was like, that's it. That's it right there. And that's why I wanted to make that point, because I've noticed that when the girls used to come in and out of jail, they would have times of reflection. A lot of times they would cry, they would, go back in the inclines of their minds. They would be repentant, not just because we were coming in there to bring the word, but some of them were just reflecting on their past mistakes. And when you are by yourself, like I said, and don't have distraction, you sit in a holding cell. That's what she said. You're in bondage. You're behind the walls, and now you don't have control of the situation, and now you're not able to control what you do and where you go. It's controlled by somebody else. And now what? You are thinking, you are starting to reflect. Why am I here? What did I do? And I've had those moments. I think everybody has had those moments. If you didn't, you should, to reflecting on what did you do and everything. So at this moment, they bring her down to Iyanla, and she is saying she comes down with all her purses and all the baggage that she told her to get with all the different masks in it. She said she didn't like not being in control, and it reminded her of when she was abandoned and that she wasn't able to get her kids. And she has these issues of abandonment issues. Her father left her. Her father was murdered by, I think she said, her uncle, I think. And her mother gave away her. And she has an issue that her mom gave her away when she was the 8th child. Your mom had 7 kids, and then she went to the 8th child to give you away. So she felt some type of way. And I can see why. I really believe that a lot of people are dealing with abandonment issues. The things that we grew up in our child, dealing with rejection. Rejection was definitely one of mine. Dealing with abandonment, dealing with a lot of stuff. And these issues are still plaguing us today. We have not found resolutions. We have not found therapy. We have not read books. We have not sought to even write letters to ourselves, journal, find out why you are like you are. I've said this before. I had to do the work for me. Like Iyanla say all the time, do the work, do the work. I think a lot of times we don't want to do the work. Why? Because the work is going to require you looking at yourself in a way that you probably never saw yourself before. Looking at yourself in an ugly way, to be honest. When I did the work on me, I was like, oh my goodness, this is such me, sweet me. I'm like this. I am this ugly. And it requires us to do the work. I would say anybody, if you are, one thing we need to, I would say anybody, try to watch some of Iyanla shows. I know sometimes it comes off a certain type of way, but you may find one that's very therapeutic for you. And I thought that this is very therapeutic, especially for the label of the angry black woman. Now, this is the note that I made after just looking at this. I'm writing to myself or writing to you guys. This show brings self-awareness to me and makes me look within myself. I don't blame someone else for their decision for being a celebrity mom. That's their choice. I think, but I do also think that sometimes celebrities or celebrities. I was going to say, well, maybe you was on the road and you didn't know you was going to be a celebrity or something. But I think that people that invest a lot of time in their job and their work, in building their brand, their money, they have to also look at their children. If you can wait until, later when you're more established and you have more free time, I think you should, because I think it's kind of selfish to bring a child into this world and then you leave them. I think you have to be self-aware at that. But then I do understand people get pregnant and they don't try to. So of course you got to learn to balance it. You got to learn to balance both. And I don't know what it would have looked like for them, but I think it would really help her daughter not feeling abandoned. So she basically did the same thing that was done to her child. So it says, but you got to choose being a mom over anything, because call to raising and pouring into your child and to empower your child, that's a calling. That's something God gave you. Once you decided to have this child, then you are obligated, you are appointed and anointed, you the pastor, the church, everything over that child, and you got to pour into that child. And you have to allow your children to be open with you. Like I said in the beginning, you have to allow your children to be able to come to you, not being you shut off and you always fussing and deflecting. Growing up, our parents were not open. And I can say this to be true. Growing up, my parents were not open. And I vowed to open and be honest with my children. I wanted to always create a safe place for them to come. I wanted to always share. I don't believe in family secrets. I believe in, hey, I'm going to let you know you got a brother or sister out there somewhere and they blah, 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 and we're going to come together and going to do this. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to make sure that my children knew that they had other siblings out there. So it's about open and honesty. Once your children see that you're open, you're honest, they can come to you with stuff. They really and truly can. I don't care if they got to send you a text message and say, listen, this is what's going on. I got this, now it's easier to text now. And so, but I do believe that you should have a verbal conversation. So Luenell is pulling out the different masks that Iyanla had her put in her purse. And one of them, and she pulled out several and they went over several, but the ones that struck to me was that she wasn't feeling, she felt not heard. And she didn't feel important. And these are issues that I grew up. I felt like nobody never wanted to hear conversations that I had to say. Now look at me. And I'm saying that not in an arrogant way, but I'm saying that's how sometimes we can feel that's not true. I didn't feel like I was important. I didn't feel like I was heard. I didn't feel like nobody even wanted to hear from me. And I believe that's what caused me to put on that comedy spirit that's on the inside of me. My comedic part of me is because people listened to me when I was making them laugh. They listened to me when I was telling a joke. They listened to me when I was a class clown. So I pulled on all of that because any other time I didn't feel like I was being heard. See, that's why I said this stuff is showing up therapeutic for me. Therapeutic. All right, so, and she was talking about, her husband abused her and he was physically abusive. He was mean, and she told her family and nobody came to help her. And Iyanla was saying, well, is that your experience? Is that the way you feel? Why you made it feel about you? And she said, maybe it could be they didn't have the skills, the vice, they didn't have the ability to come and help you. So she said, I don't believe that that's true, because if I knew that my child was hurting or somebody was hurting, I would be there. She said, that's just not a good mom. That's not that compassionate empathy you need to show. So she was basically telling her, but everybody don't have the skills. She disagreed with her. She said, because she would, definitely go and protect her child. So let's move on to the sit down with Luenell and Danielle. Luenell and Danielle. Danielle. Lord, Lou and Dan. That's all I need to call them. Okay, so they're sitting down face to face. And if I call names mixed up, I'm so sorry, because it's a lot going on here. They're sitting down face to face. Iyanla gave Danielle a hall pass. She said, I want you to tell your mama everything. Don't skip nothing. I want you to tell everything that's on your heart and mind. I need for you to talk to a grown woman to grown woman. So she holds the mask up to her face like that. And I wish I had some. I think that this is so good as far as therapy, because we, again, wear so many different masks. When people hurt us, we hold up another mask. When people mistreat us, we hold up another mask. When we go and we get hurt in relationships, we hold up another mask. So Danielle is frustrated. So she's holding up the mask while she's talking to her mom. She says she's frustrated to have to share with you every day. You know, it frustrates her when she's having to talk to her mom. She said, I feel abandonment. I have abandonment issues. We don't know each other. We had to relearn each other when you went out of town and came back in town. Now I had to start all over again and getting to know you. I can't imagine. I can't imagine. Or maybe I can. I don't know. She said, I experience you as controlling and selfish. So that was a lot for Luenell, because, again, these are things that she really didn't feel that her daughter was experiencing. She didn't know that she was giving her the same thing that was gave to her. And that is the key thing, is that we pass down generational curses. We treat our children, or in a relationship, what happened to us. And Luenell said, I thought you were glad to see me go. And I don't know if they really got into that, you know, why she thought that. Why she thought that, you know, Danielle did not want to see her mom go. But then Luenell said, I thought you was glad to see me go. I thought you was glad to help me pack. I thought you was glad that I was going back on the town again. And I don't understand that. Maybe because Luenell felt like she didn't have a good relationship with her daughter. And so maybe she felt like, yeah, she don't really want me around because they having a good time. Maybe she came back and said, oh, mama, look what daddy bought for me. Oh, look what grandma did for me. Look. And she probably felt like, okay, they surviving without me. One thing as a mom is when I got a divorce and I went and moved away, at that point, I was so used to being a mom and a wife, I didn't feel needed. And that could be why Luenell felt the way she felt, because she didn't feel needed. Maybe the only thing they needed was her finances and money, but she probably did not feel needed. And that's one thing, a mom or a husband or a wife, you have to feel needed, because if not, you know, but I got over that real quick. It took me a while to, you know, not feel needed, but I began to develop me as a single woman, enjoying my best life. So I was like, okay, my kids are grown. They probably don't need me as much as they used to, but it was just weird having that experience of not feeling needed, because that's basically all I knew. So she said that she has been dominating everything in the relationship. You know, she didn't realize that she was controlling the relationship that she had with her daughter. She said, I acknowledge that I am a part of your pain. Ooh. Now that one, if a person would say, I acknowledge I'm a part of your pain, because like I said, we pass down pain from one thing to the next, to the next, to the next. But to realize you're a part of somebody else's pain and hurt, and the way they grew up and the way that they think now, that her daughter shut down because of her. Her daughter is dealing with issues because of her. She said, I gave you a hard heart. She said, you came before everything. But she said, but my job. And she said, and I feel sad and mad for that. She actually said, I feel like the S word. But Iyanla was like, you got to put a feeling on that. You got to put words on that, because that ain't nothing. So that's when she said, I feel sad. She said, please forgive me. So she put everything before. If she would drop this, she would drop that, go see about a child, do this, do that. She said, but that money, nope. Sorry, gotta take a back seat, daughter. And how many people actually do that today? How many fathers actually say, well, I'm the man of the house, I gotta go out here and work and not spend time with their children, not to get to know their child, not raise their child. You got the mom raising the child and the dad out here working. And I do understand that that's how a lot of households are, or that's how people were grew up and were raised. But it doesn't mean that you don't have to build a relationship. Gonna go ahead and get out of here. Please make sure that you like this video, subscribe if you hadn't already, and if you're watching us via Facebook, make sure that you hit like and follow, and drop down in the comments and let me know what you thought about this episode. Again, I enjoyed it. I see a lot of people that need this kind of therapy, and yeah, so we can move forward, because we don't want to always have that label, the angry black woman. At least I know I didn't for me so many years ago. So I decided to do the work, and I hope you do too. So you guys, I will see you guys on the next video. Deuces.